Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Something Cafe. Welcome back to the Something Cafe. You know what you're here for. You know what you're here for. You are here for Celestino Dooley and his immaculate takes on some of the most unimportant things that you've never heard of. That brings me to my first thought. My own name, Celestino. Kind of a sick joke from my mother. She gives birth to the kid with a speech impediment and gives him the longest name that she could think of. Not just the longest name, but this particular child has this particular speech impediment that makes it very hard for him to say S's. A little bit of saboteur, don't you think? Thanks, Mom. Just last week, I had someone at work confront me a day later because they thought I was being sarcastic and kind of what's the word? Sarcastic and arrogant with them because they forgot my name, which happens all the time. I've probably I have a very memorable name and a very forgettable name, which play pretty hand in they play pretty hand in hand. She was trying to tell me something. I was walking out of the break room, and this is someone that I've only just gotten to, like, this is someone I've only just met like a week ago, and she's pretty high up on the job ladder. So someone that I want to be on my best behavior for, and she was trying to get my attention. So she said my coworker's name. Not that she was calling me my coworker's name, but she was just trying to get my attention and started talking about my coworker Frank. Like, hey, did Frank, dot. That obviously got my attention. I turned around, I listened to what she said, I gave her an answer. And, obviously she didn't remember my name. And we all hate, like, come on, like, we all don't like forgetting names, right? I mean, that's something that I don't enjoy. Do you? I'm assuming she doesn't enjoy this. You know what I mean? So when we got done talking about what we were talking about, I stepped out of the door and then I was like, oh wait, I should probably remind her my name. Because again, dude, if I was in her shoes, I would want to be reminded what this person's name is that I'm talking to. This person that I've obviously forgot their name. So I take a step out of the door and I turn back around and I say, Celestino, by the way. And she was like, oh, okay. And I walked out. I didn't think anything of it. But because of my speech impediment, I had to pause. I kind of I went back in and looked at her and was like, Celestino, by the way. Kind of almost like I was pausing on purpose. The following day, she comes up to me and she's like, hey, were you giving me attitude yesterday when I forgot your name? And at that moment, I was like, son of a dog. I'm like, I immediately put my hands up on my over my mouth, like, no, because I don't like being perceived as anything negative. Obviously, she was like, okay, because it seemed like. And I was like, crap. And I was like, no, I'm very sorry, ma'am. I have a speech impediment that can make a lot of my speech sound really awkward. Maybe give off the wrong tone. And she's like, okay, just making sure, because when you said that to me yesterday, I was just kind of like, I should probably go up and give and check him to kind of see. And I was like, no, we're aces. We are good. We are good. So that was kind of man. And that's the thing, man. like this name, for one, it's dope. Thanks, mom. Um, but second of all, I never know how to say it, because Celestino. When people ask what my name is, like I kind of naturally throw an accent on it because I speak Spanish pretty well, and I'm speaking Spanish for half of the day at my job. When I speak Spanish, I have an accent. Like I put on my Spanish accent. And my the word Celestino sounds very it sounds Spanish, so I immediately throw it on there. So we've got someone coming up to me trying to ask my name to this hick wearing an Illinois football jersey, and and they say, "Hey, what's your name?" I say, "Oh, my name is uh, Celestino," and they're like, "It's hard. It is hard. The S sounds are particularly hard. Those sounds are pretty hard too for me. S sounds. So S M. Let's see, what other letter is hard for me? Let's see, A B C. So C D E sometimes, F G H I J K L sometimes, M N O P Q R S S T sometimes T U V W X Y Z. Like I have certain letters, and sometimes it's because I stutter on them. Sometimes it is like take the dog out, but sometimes it's just like I can't. Sometimes it's like I can't even start it. Like I can't even start the word or start the phrase. Like I'm trying to think. Like okay, again, my own name, right? Like I would try to, you know, Celestino, or if it's a vowel, right? Let's see, like maybe one that starts with an E, like ev, or like I can't get it out. And man, like I get it, dude. Like I get it. Like it's funny sometimes, man. And there's a lot of strong people around me that stop themselves from laughing. It sucks because I don't like it when people laugh at it, but at the same time, like it is funny. Like sometimes like if I'm trying to say something that I'm trying to think, like if I try to say something that starts with like an E, like an ER, or like a UR, if it starts with any form of like or R, or or I don't know. Dude, it sounds like I'm freaking record scratching, man. It really does. Like there's sometimes it'll go on for like a solid 3-4 seconds, and I'm just thinking, dude, DJ DJ Jazzy Jeff could lay down some sweet needles right now, and it would sound perfectly normal. Let's say if it was the word like okay, so like in the hospital, I work with a lot of items used in urology cases. So urology, I would like be like or like like I could really brother I could really get into that. I could really get into that. So yeah, no, sometimes it's pretty difficult, man. And honestly, something happened this week and it sucks, So I don't care if people make fun of my stutter. Like, okay, I'm not the kind that kind of like calls people out for making fun of me, because I think okay, I think about it like this. I don't call people out for making fun of me really ever because I am someone who is always who I'm someone like I don't want to say I'm someone who always makes jokes because then that makes me sound like not capable of being professional. But you get what I mean. Like I'm always within the right environment. I am always looking for a humorous point. And I can and I am aware enough to know that sometimes that is about like the people around me, and I don't even think about it. Obviously, I don't go like I don't do anything that's like actually mean, but I toe that line, and I'm aware of that, and I sometimes I don't even think about it. So that's why I don't call people out for making fun of me, because it's like I am constantly looking for the humor in things. So I wouldn't be surprised if I've made fun of them, for something, which I just, I don't like thinking about, but at the same time, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, again, like, I am not blatantly making fun of someone for something that I know hurts. You right? Okay. I'm trying to get the point across that I'm nice and I'm a nice guy. Um but there is one thing, you listen to me. There is one thing that is never okay to do to me. All right? There is one thing that will never be okay, no matter who you are: mother, best friend, cat, coworker, boss, surgeon, patient, candy salesman, prostitute. It does not matter who you are, or what you've done for me, or what you do for me, or what I've done for you, or what I do for you. Imitating or mocking or repeating the stutter that just happened is the one thing that will actually, like, not a lot of things hurt me. And I don't even like talking about it, because I don't know, makes me sound like a freaking makes me sound like a loser. But not a lot of things hurt my feelings, like really. Like, I've got, like, half of the things people poke at me about is maybe my weight or how white I am, because again, I'm speaking Spanish half of the time. Feels like, oh, it's like el blanquito está aquí, like the whitey's here. Weight, and again, even making fun of the fact that I stutter. Like, I don't care about that. I think that's funny. Like, that's funny. Like, I know at work one time, someone like, it was it was like a super busy day. And I was walking by one of my coworkers, and she said, like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, good. And she was like, man, you know, he's stressed. Or no, what is she said something along the lines of, like, man, you know he's focused when like, you know he's focused when Celestino doesn't stutter, or something. Like, that's funny. Like, again, making fun of the fact that I stutter, making fun of me stutter, like, cool. Whatever. I do it with, and again, this is like the thing of, like, if you can't take it, don't dish it. Like, my coworker Frank, me and him are like buddies, like, me and him, solid. Um we joke a lot that if his wife weren't in the picture, then unfortunately he would be with me, right? But, so, like, he has stuff that I have gauged on what hurts his feelings and what doesn't. And because he's my friend, I'm very, very careful with that line. And I choose things that are, like, commonly known, or, like, I've seen. Again, like, it's a weird thing to think about. It's like, when you boil it down, it's like, okay, what's the best way I can make fun of this person without hurting their feelings? Like, it's not it that doesn't sound good, but that's just what comedy is. Things I I poke I poke at with Frank. I maybe talk about his English, right? How his English, like, that dude is fluent. Like, he doesn't think so. His English is so much better than he thinks it is. But there are certain words that are just hilarious. Maybe it's a word that, okay, so for example, Frank comes up to us, just like me and a couple other of the guys, and, like, I think we're talking about, like, restaurants or something, and he was like, yeah, man, like, have you guys ever been to Bob Evans? And me and my friends were like, where? Bob Evans? And I was like, bro, do you mean Bob Evans? And he was like, no way, bro. I've been saying Bob Evans for like 6 years. Like, that's hilarious. So, like, every once in a while when he says a word wrong, I'll just say, like, Bob Evans, huh? You know? And dude, and if I saw, and if I genuinely thought that hurt his feelings, I would stop in that second. Like, he shouldn't even have to tell me. Like, I need to be able to just see that. And sometimes I'm wrong, and someone would come and say, "Hey, man," blah blah blah. I'm like, "Hey, cool," you know. Like, I forget that I even said anything. Right? Comedy, man. Like on the spot comedy, on the spot humor, and calling it comedy even sounds like too strong of a vocabulary. It's just on the spot humor is sometimes dangerous because you don't know, and it also comes with the personality. I am aware of the advantage I have over maybe someone who is more introverted or whatever, right? There are things that I can say that if the other person said it, it would be like, what the hell? You right? Like, there are certain things that I can say, and then, again, toeing that line. I never get out of hand. I'm mostly saying all of this assurance stuff is because I know my parents are listening. Like, I'm not getting fired, okay? Um, so there are things that I can say because people know, like, oh, that's Celestino. That's who he is. He says stuff like that, or that's how he talks, or what. It's like an accent. If someone who has an American Midwest accent, if I just started talking in a Chinese accent, which I'm not even going to attempt, that would seem very out of place. Everyone can try a Chinese accent. Even white people can do a good and successful Chinese accent. I mean, look at anybody who is like pentalingual. Like, white dudes like me named Marcus spitting out some Mandarin like a damn hibachi chef, you know? Like, just absolute fluent. And the accent is full Mandarin. Just if you brother, if you closed your eyes, you would think you were in a Benihana. But again, he can do it. I can't. It's the same thing with a lot of this humor stuff. There's certain things that I can say that other people can't. I'm not saying that again. It's not that they can't. It's just, it just wouldn't be the same. There's some things that other people say that I can't, right? But it's just it is my personality. There are some things that I'll say that then, like, I'm not stupid, like, I know I'm like, when people, if someone were to ask everyone that I'm around, like, what are three words that could describe Celestino, one of them would be, a mixture of handsome, hot, you know, um, chiseled swimmer body. But then one, like, possibly the other two, one of them would be funny. Like, that's just something that's a part of that's been a part of my personality since I was like in sixth grade. I don't ever take it for granted though, right? Like, this is kind of one of those things. This is the same way to say, like, talk about what you know you're the best at. Like, it's sometimes it feels awkward, and I'm not saying I'm the best at, like, on the spot humor, but it's definitely an area that I excel at, just because of, like, I'm a pretty nervous, anxious dude, and comedy and humor kind of really helps that. In something cafe fashion, where I'm making a point and it just turns into a whole other conversation, mocking and imitating a stutter that might have just happened is like, there is nothing else. You could literally go up to my face and say, like, you fat loser, you will never find love, and it will not hurt as much as someone mimicking a stutter. Dude, that happened last week. Like, I was asking my coworker, "Hey, something like, "Hey, did you get that box?" And I stuttered on box. You know, "Hey, did you get that box?" And she she imitated it like in front of everybody. No, I did not get the box. That's dude. I instantly went silent. I instantly went silent. Like I hate being vulnerable in front of people. That includes like being obviously sad about something. Like it is literally my least favorite thing in the whole world, other than maybe torture. Like the other day, I was in one of my higher ups' office, and I was like, and I was crying, which makes you sound like a loser, but I was crying not for any other reason. Like it was because I was working. I was doing so many jobs in one day. I skipped lunch. I skipped breaks. And at the end of the day, I was in her office kind of like tearing up, not because I was tired or because like it was so hard. I was I was literally shedding tears because I had to say um I had to say that I needed help. Like I was telling them the whole story of how that day that work day went sideways and blah 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 blah, perfectly fine. But it was the moment I said I think I need help doing these certain tasks. That's when I started tearing up because it's like I do not like talking about. I don't shoot me. I do not like talking about being sensitive or vulnerable. And that's why, oh, dude, when that coworker did that, when that coworker mocked my stutter, dude, I mean, it seriously brings, dude, I cannot explain to you. I cannot explain the space that it takes me into. Like, I've been bullied basically all my childhood. So that's why things really don't, that's like a lot of things really don't affect me as much nowadays. But that is the one thing, because that's what most of the bullies did from for like 15 years was imitate and mock my stutter. So when people do, and it doesn't happen often. In fact, I was actually rather shocked. People make fun of me stuttering every other day. That's just friendship humor. The imitating the stutter, that's something that hasn't happened in a while. And man, the place where that took me in my head, and it was obvious. Like my other co-worker was like, "See, you made him sad," or like they were kind of they were kind of laughing, like they were like, "See, you made him sad," you know. But I was like, dude, when anybody does that, that genuinely puts me right back into the place that I was when I was little, being bullied. And that ruined my entire day down to the right before I shut my eyes to go to bed that night. Like that is the one thing. I'm really really trying to think of if there's anything else that puts me in that space. There really isn't. I can dig myself out of a lot of things. Like I've gotten very, for someone who is taking medications for being suicidal in the past, with practice, I've gotten very good at digging myself out of holes. That's one that I have never been able to dig myself out of, and I just have to wait for the next day to just feel fine again. I don't know, feels weird talking about it, you know. Again, I don't like admitting that I have something that's like the skeleton key of, my feelings, but that's the truth, man. Oh man, when she did that, dude, and no one else there knows that too. You know what I mean? Like everyone there obviously knows that I don't like necessarily being picked on for certain things, especially like work. When I'm picked on for something that has to do with work, it's like, dude, shut up. Like I'm doing a good job. But of course, like why would they know that that imitating my stutter just instantly kills me? Like they shouldn't know that. And that's why I didn't get mad at them or anything like that. But man, I know I do have a couple coworkers who do listen to this podcast. I mean, now you know. But dude, that that effed me up, dude. But I think I'm out of drink. Am I out of drink? Darn it. But let me talk about something that you guys let me talk about something that you guys don't know. I have a roommate. Do you know who that roommate's name? Correct. It's Lars. I have a second roommate. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know I have a second roommate? It's not Lars. It's not another Lars. In fact, I'm going to be getting 3 roommates soon with my new cat coming in. I have a second roommate, ladies and gentlemen. And would you believe me if I said that this roommate has been in this camera shot for the last 31 minutes? Let's do a little let's do a little overweight Italian Dora here. Can you find the how should I put this? Can you find the urn full of ashes of someone that you never knew? I'm going to put my finger in certain places. No, not there. No, not there. Yes, there. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Linda. I think I've brought up Linda 2 times. This is going to be episode 20. I've brought up Linda 2 times. That would have been the episode with Vonnie and the episode with Impact. But I've never actually shown Linda. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Linda. Linda is a genuine urn. Linda is a genuine urn with ashes. And this might come as a shock to some of you. It came to a shock to me. But let me adjust my seating. But allow me to explain why Linda's here. Linda is not anybody part of my family. I was not related to Linda in any way. Linda was not given to me. Linda was not stolen. Linda is not helping me fix my mic. Linda was not stolen. Linda was not taken. Linda was not bought. Do you believe in God? You believe in God? Well, if you do, that's who I have to blame for this beautiful coincidence. Linda, let me tell you about Linda. Linda, the story of Linda starts when my mom was here. It was not the time that she was here to record the podcast. This was I want to say this was genuinely a year ago. Yeah. This was a year ago. And Mom was down here just visiting, and we go to take out some trash. I live in an apartment complex, so we, share a dumpster with the community. And we pull up to the shared dumpster of the community, and as we pull up, I start to make out this item on the ground near the dumpster. And I'm thinking that's always good because hey, another man's dead cremated aunt is one man's useless object on top of his fridge. So we get closer, and I'm thinking, is it a vase? Is it, a pot? Is it a cool item that I can have in my place? Yeah, it was. Not what we were expecting whatsoever. So me and my mother, hold on, I need to fix my mic. So me and my mother get closer, and we start to realize that holy shit, that's an urn. Does the urn have anything in it? Go ahead and throw in your guesses. Throw in your guesses to the attractive woman who speaks 2.5 languages, taking the votes. Does the urn have any ashes in it? So me and my mom, I go, without hesitation, I go and grab it. I bring it into the car. I'm like, what a find. You guys dude, growing up, sometimes parents put on shows for their children, right? What did they put on for you? They might have put on Dora, Diego the Explorer, Barney, perhaps. Maybe, what are those fluffy germ-looking dudes with those weird shapes on top of their heads? I don't know. Probably, let's see. I don't know. Cartoons, SpongeBob. You guys want to know what my parents would play for me when I was real little? Just so I could have something to watch? They put me to bed while I was watching American Pickers. Okay? And that's where this knack for beautiful items comes from. I know a good find when I see it. And I know that this is something that I'm probably going to have for the rest of my life because this is unsellable. Um there are 3 things that could happen to this urn in my lifetime. Option A, the thing that I want to happen would be option A. Someone reaches out to me and confirms their relation, and I give this to them. That is what I want to happen. Option B, I have it for the rest of my life because this is absolutely something I would keep for the rest of my life because I think this is hilarious. I live for the weird. I live I live for the weird. That is where the decision making that it took, the very very short, mind you, the very short decision making that it took my brain to work out to for me to go grab this urn off of the ground next to the dumpster without hesitation. That's where that need comes from. The need for the weird. I love it. I love stories. I love things that'll give me stories. So option B is I have it for the rest of my life, and it's a hilarious talking piece. Maybe me and my beautiful wife named, Francesca. Me and my beautiful wife Francesca with our 3 kids, Alejandro, Frederico, and Scott, at the dinner table, and Scott says, "Daddy, daddy, ¿qué eso?" Which means what? What is that? I say, mi hijo, esta es una cosa con muy importante. It's something with high importance. ¿Qué eso? ¿Qué eso? Yo digo, es una cosa de linda. And Francesca kisses me. All right, you and I just went to a very weird place, but that's what would happen. And option C is I just end up losing it somewhere, or it falls and breaks. I know what you're thinking. Is it just? Oh my gosh, why is this impossible to open? I just opened it like before I started. Oh my gosh, bro. I just opened this before I started recording, man. Oh, bro, this is so hard to open. I wanted to open it, man. I wanted to open it. Oh, I see what. There we go. I will not be reading any information off of this, but this is a certificate of cremation. This is to certify that the remains of Linda, last name, have this day been cremated at blah, 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 with a signature. It's not just paper, it's like actual document paper. And luckily, maybe as sad as it is, the ashes are still in the bag inside of the urn. If you can see. If you're listening on the audio, go ahead and switch to the video so you can see. Linda is in there. Now, I don't get a lot of viewers on the main episodes, but if for some reason, somehow, maybe in the future when this podcast blows up and I start making money from it and people are just diving through the archive of the first 20 episodes. If for some reason you have a leading suspicion that this belongs to your family, please reach out to me and I will help you confirm or deny this being from your family. Because, like I said, what I really want to happen, what I really want to happen is to return this to the family of whomever it's from. I know I talk about it being kind of a crazy thing for me having this and whatnot, but at the end of the day, what I do truly want is for this to go back to the people that it belongs to. It's a truly unfortunate thing that that this was found next to a dumpster. I don't know what the story of that is. It could be a million things, It could be a million things. It could be here, I'm going to put Linda in the shot of the camera. I put her clothes back on. It could be a million things. It could be so option A is um, pardon my French, but an absolute dickhead of a family member, maybe like put this out there because they really just hated it or didn't like Linda or whatever, which is just sad. Like that was the first thought of me and my mom. Like this is just sad. You know what I mean? Some other options. I mean, maybe it was just someone of the family just didn't know what it was, and just put it out. I don't know. Another option could be like maybe the residents of the apartment that this was from, maybe they got evicted, and they didn't clean out their place in time, and like unfortunately there had to be some dude who was in charge of like uh of like removing all the stuff, and he runs into this urn. He's like, son of a bitch, I have to throw this away. Like the guy tasked to like throw out all of the stuff. There could be a good handful of reasons. When I talk about this, when I bring up Linda in conversation, because it happens a lot, obviously. When I talk about Linda, when I talk about why I have this, I tell people the whole story. A lot of people say, like, I've gotten a lot of responses that are like, what? Like that's so weird. Like why would you do that? Why would you keep that? Why would you take that? Blah 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 blah. I don't know, man. I'm just like, I never understand those responses. I'm I'm just thinking, like, so what? Would you rather me have taken it, you know? Or would you have like rather had to task someone the job of like picking it up, knowing what it is and throwing it into the compactor? Like, come on, like, I have definitely gotten some responses that have been negative. It's not like, and this isn't ever something that I'm like bringing up at parties. Like, hey guys, you guys want to hear about? Hey Jeff, your new jet ski sounds really cool, but did you know that I have um I have an urn full of the ashes of the remains of a dead Hispanic lady in my apartment that was never related to me. It's not really something. It's not really an icebreaker. It's not really something you start the first date off with, let alone the 10th. But when I have brought it up, I mean, people have been like, man, that's kind of like effed up. It's kind of this and that. I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, what? I don't think I'm that stupid to be missing something here, but like, it was either I took it or it was going to get crushed in a compactor and thrown away. Like, how that is like unbelievably sad. I don't care if she was like a horrible person. Like, it's just, I don't know, dude. I try not to even think about it that much, like down to like the personal aspect. It's just an urn that I found full of ashes and a certificate with a first and last name and a time and a date. It's not that serious. But I do not want to spread any information that could maybe hurt the family or whatever. So that's why I just stick to the first name that's listed. And if for some reason someone comes across this and thinks it's from their family, I say to you, privately message me, confirm the last name, maybe the place where it was cremated, and we can talk, and maybe I can get this back to you, because that's what I really want to happen. In the meantime, Linda partied it up at my birthday party. Um, my 21st birthday party, which contained a lot of liquor. Linda got very active. I was telling my buddies about it, explaining Linda to them. Thankfully, I did have a friend there that was of of mind and ability, and made sure I didn't, throw Linda off the balcony. But but yeah, no, Linda played the switch. Linda was a part of the smoke circle. Linda posed with a few solo cups. Linda got active. No, I was not a part of the smoke circle, mind you. These are my friends who smoke. I do not smoke. Mom and dad, everyone else listening, even my friends, listen here. I do not smoke. I never have. I never will. But Linda did. Linda did out on my balcony with my friends that do smoke. Okay, shoot her. She's an independent woman in the United States of America. You hear me? So yeah, that's the story of Linda, guys. A really weird story, guys. So you know, I kind of hope I didn't cross any lines there, man. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's fine. Again, the contrary is this urn full of a dead person's ashes being thrown into a dumpster. Okay? No, the ashes have never been opened. They're still vacuum sealed. No, I've never. It is purely just posed with Nintendo Joy-Cons and a solo cup. Okay, just want to get that on the. Just want to get that on the frickin' table. Something else I want to get on the frickin' table is recycling. Is recycling something that comes with age? Because I just got a new YouTube comment. Cool. Because okay, so a little background here. I'm someone who makes a lot of aluminum can trash. I throw away a lot of aluminum cans. And I came across something like on TikTok that kind of made me think like you know, I could probably start making some money off of this. I'm not sure how it works, but I throw away enough cans that I am not like I would not be surprised if I could, you know, like store up a whole lot of cans. And now I'm thinking, since I'm throwing so much of these away, I should start like crushing them down and saving them up to go take them to like a recycling plant or something and like maybe making a little bit of profit. Now, I understand this isn't like, oh, you get $1 for every can. No, it's like 1 cent per can. But still, like this is something that, you know, could be a nice little thing for me. Since I have a trash bag that's probably got like 20 cans in it, and I just started like 2 days ago. Not that everything in those cans was something that I had consumed in the last 2 days. I may or may not have, you know, kind of looked into my trash can and thought, you know, what could I start, you know, throwing in here? So, you know, I kind of I took some of the other day's trash out, you know, put those cans in there. But hey, shoot me, you know. So I'm interested to see where that goes. You know, recycling is not. If you are not from the States, I don't know. You probably already know this, but recycling is not something that is super common in the States. Now you got to remember when I say states, I mean what is the population? Okay, the population of America is 333.3 million people. This is of 2022. What the heck? I want 2024. Okay, well that's stupid. Either way, 333 million people. So when I say recycling is not that popular in the States, obviously there could be someone listening right now saying like, dude, our entire state recycles our pee, you know. But again, one state, like one whole state that recycles is nothing compared to the 49 other states. So, and you know, and where I'm from, like that's just not something like we did the opposite of recycle. When I was younger, younger. It's a weird word. When I was younger, we did the opposite of recycle. We would just like what's the middleman of having to fill up a dumpster, it get too full, have to wait for the garbage guy, he comes and gets the dumpster, we have to why do all of that when you could just burn all of your trash? I mean, it's not going to take up any space and it's a hell of a lot of fun. Dude, I want you Just sit down. And I want you to think of your fondest moments with your father. Just sit down and just think. It could be the first time he took you fishing, playing catch in the backyard. Perhaps it's when he bought you your first car. Perhaps it's when he signed the adoption papers to become your real father. And if that's the case, then congratulations. None of that competes with the bond I have with my father. You hear me? My fondest moment with my father, my fondest moments, plural, was me and my dad. Me probably like 8 years old, 10 years old, all excited. Two hands with a trash bag in each of them. Me and my dad laughing and running down to what we called the burn pile with one of them easy reach Bics, lighters in our back pockets, running down to the burn pile, throwing all the bags on the burn pile, and pardon my French, lighting that bitch up. Oh man, that was fun. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. My guy, that was fun. Did me and my father contribute to the hole in the ozone layer? Absolutely. Was it worth it? Debatable. But that was fun. And ever since I was a kid, like I've always loved fire. I've always loved fire. I don't know why. I'm sure there's an explanation. I'm sure that comes from somewhere. But dude, camping was something that me and my family did a lot when I was younger. And every time we had trash of any sorts, trash like cardboard, paper, nothing crazy. Mom and dad would just give it to me, knowing that I would just go. I would go occupy myself for like. Sorry, I just got a text from my boss. What the heck was I saying? Oh, my parents would give me trash. No one like, hey, I'm picturing my mom talking to my dad like, hey, babe, I have like 10 empty, beer boxes. This'll get us like 1 hour of this will give us like 1 hour of distracted Celis, so we could go, we could go mow the lawn. I don't know. Yeah, they were right. Oh my gosh, that's all that is all that mattered in the world at that moment, was just like. And if you aren't experienced in arsony, then you are probably an amateur in thinking that all you have to do is just throw it all on and watch it burn. No, 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 no. It's much, much more than that. It is much more than that. You burn each individual piece of trash and you watch how the fire eats away at the matter that you have put upon it. Fire is, I mean, ever since then, dude, like, it is such a beautiful, interesting, it is such a beautiful, ever interesting thing to me. Just this thing, I'm going to ask a really stupid question. Is fire matter? Yes. Fire is matter because it has mass and occupies space. Fire is a plasma, which is considered the fourth state of matter, along with solid, liquid, and gas. Plasma is made up of hot ionized gases where the number of electrons and protons are roughly equal. That is exactly what I was thinking. It is a matter that destroys other matter and doesn't just change, like, it changes the original matter's form, but like drastically. Like, no matter can be destroyed. I don't think any matter can be destroyed. I don't know. No matter can be destroyed, only converted, only changed. You burn a empty box of Mike's Hard Lemonade, you have the ghost of Mike's Hard Lemonade floating around you now. I always thought fire was the absolutely coolest thing ever, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love fire. And that's where that love came from. So when me and my dad would run down to the burn pile with all of these bags of trash, man, me and my dad had a good time. Empty bottles of hairspray were probably the only area of concern. Obviously, we would throw on like 6 bags of trash, and in those 6 bags, you don't know where an aerosol can could be hiding, right? So when the aerosol can made itself aware and known, that's when me and my father learned to take, kind of that's where me and my father learned to Steve Irwin the burn pile. Just got to take a few steps back to you just got to oh gosh, what's an Australian accent? Oi mate. Just got to take a few steps back, mate, to enjoy the beauty of nature, mate. You listen to me, mate. Good eye, mate. Good eye, mate. How you doing? I'm from South Africa, mate. New Zealand, mate. You just gotta. What was the Wiggles had a song? You can look, but you cannot touch. That came in very handy when the empty can of hairspray exploded 30 feet up in the even more up in the air, absolutely coating everything in a black cloud. That's when me and my dad learned. We should probably we aren't gonna stop. That would be stupid. But we're gonna work on the safety here. Y'all ever heard of Chernobyl? Same thing happened there. The people at Chernobyl, they should have watched more Steve Irwin. The people at Chernobyl should have watched more of the Wiggles. Don't you think? Let me know if you agree. The people of Chernobyl should have had more care and love for the Australian wildlife. And the people at Chernobyl also do not know how absolutely hungry I am right now. My stomach is hurting. That's how hungry I am. And that's a lot from a big dude like me. You know what I mean? So, I'm probably going to wrap it up here. I do want to draw attention to the set is ever upgrading. Slowly am I working on slowly am I working on the set. If you are just on the audio, hop over to the video if you can and just kind of check it out. Slowly getting better. I got some new stuff. For example, you can see I'm using a different mic. The mic that I have been using is a mic so expensive and has such a specific job that I didn't want to use it anymore. So this mic is perfect for what I need to do. Got the side table. Things are coming along real nice. So pretty excited about that. Maybe I'll get a better angle where my stomach it doesn't fold over on itself like a plate of Denny's pancakes. But hey, you know what? People tell me there are girls who love Denny's pancakes, and guess what, guys? I'm just waiting to find where they are. I'm waiting to find out if they exist. We just went to a very deep place. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you. Thank you for stopping by the Something Cafe and grabbing a cup with me and Linda. Okay. Thank you for stopping by and grabbing a cup with me and Linda. Speaking of grabbing a cup, how about you go grab yourself a cup? Link in the description for the Something Cafe merch. This is the mug, and there has been an updated design. If you are keen to attention to detail, you will notice that this is not the logo that we use anymore. It has that vase of flowers, and the letters have some shading. We have an updated, more clean, better-looking logo, where instead of a vase of flowers, it is an actual coffee cup. And on the back of it, it says, my favorite quote, "If chips and salsa were a person, I would not be single." So you can go get yourself one of those somewhere in the list of links in the description. You can listen to the Something Cafe on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio Music, and YouTube. The videos are, I know for sure, on Spotify and YouTube. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for stopping by the Something Cafe. My name is Celestino Dooley. I'll catch you next time.